Welcome into Steelers Talk, Yinzers. My name is Jack Sperry. Today, I have a brand new Steelers mock draft to share with you guys. It's been a little while since we've done one here on the channel. But first, before I get into today's action, make sure that you subscribe to Steelers Talk for Steelers draft coverage leading up to the NFL draft, okay? We got Steelers draft rumors here on the channel just about every single day. We got prospect analysis, prospect rankings at certain positions. And of course, just like today, we got Steelers mock drafts for you guys. We got a couple more that will come out before the 2023 NFL draft. So if you're looking for Steelers draft coverage, you want to know what the Steelers draft plans are going to be heading up into the big night, got to click that subscribe button for me right now. So before we get into today's action, I want to give a quick disclaimer. To be clear, this is not a mock draft of what I would personally do. Rather, this is what I think the Steelers will do based on their behavior during the offseason when it comes to pre-draft visits, when it comes to having dinner with guys, when it comes to the guys that they're giving particular interest in. Those are the guys that are really going to be highlighted in this edition of the Steelers mock draft, okay? So personally, before you rant at me in the comments saying I don't know what I'm talking about, this is just what I think is going to happen, okay? We're going to be doing one where I'm going to be giving my own personal mock draft in a couple, probably next week. But this week, I wanted to give a little bit of a predictive mock draft, what I think is going to happen. So without further ado, I'm getting a call, and we have a trade to kick things off here in this Steelers mock draft. The Chicago Bears are trading the number 9 overall pick in the 2023 NFL draft to the Pittsburgh Steelers in exchange for number 17 overall and number 32 overall. This has been the rumored trade that's been going around social media lately. I'm going to be doing a mock draft here based on this rumor, and the guy that actually brought up this rumor, his name's EJ Snyder. He's kind of like a Bears insider for a podcast that I really love listening to. I really trust him, and he says this is likely going to happen, so we're going to roll with it here. And to me, it looks like that Pittsburgh is hunting for that left tackle of the future to replace Dan Moore Jr. and cement the picket fence and protect second-year quarterback Kenny Pickett heading into the future. I will reveal who I have the Steelers taking at number 9 overall in just a second. But first, let me know in the comments, should the Steelers trade up in round 1 for either offensive tackle, cornerback, whatever? Should they trade up? Type TU if you would like to trade up, or if you want to stay put at number 17 overall, type SP. This is going to be the pinned comment on today's show. So whenever YouTube throws an ad break your way, take advantage of that time by going down to the comment section, finding that pinned comment. It'll be right there at the top, and answer today's question. And with the number 9 overall pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, I have the Pittsburgh Steelers selecting Paris Johnson Jr., offensive tackle out of the Ohio State University. And it's at the end of the day, guys, it's going to be one of these 3 offensive tackles, in my opinion. These are maybe not the blue chippers, but these guys are the guys at the top of this year's offensive tackle class, in my opinion. Peter Skoronski, Paris Johnson Jr., and Broderick Jones. I currently have Paris Johnson Jr. as my number 1 overall offensive tackle in this year's NFL draft class, and these numbers bear that out, man. He did have 2 sacks allowed last year and 12 hurries, but his PFF run grade last year, 80.9. He's a big body that can move people in the Steelers' brand new power run game that they're introducing this next year, and he's also one of the more polished pass protectors in this year's class as well. A true natural at the position. This is what my scouting report says on Paris Johnson Jr. The pros, obviously the size, 6'6", 311 pounds, exactly what you look for in an NFL left tackle. And at that size, he's a fantastic athlete. He can run, man. This guy can move. He's got great foot speed. He can play in a power or zone running scheme. And, you know, the power with this guy, man, this guy's got powerful hands. He's got cement bricks for hands. Now, he relies on that two-hand punch in pass protection too often, okay? Like, that's like his only move. In the NFL, that really top-end left tackles, you know, they can use each hand independently. He's going to have to learn that if he's going to be one of those top-flight guys in the NFL one day. And this pick, plain simply, is to replace Dan Moore Jr. Dan Moore Jr. would be a good backup option, in my opinion. But, you know, you look at what he does does well. It's like moving, it's zone stuff. The Steelers are transitioning to more of a power run game. Dan Moore Jr. isn't really a guy that can move people off the line of scrimmage. Paris Johnson Jr., in my opinion, 100% is, and that is why that is the pick here at number 17. So now let's talk a little bit about the brand new NFL draft channel that we have here at Chat Sports. If you're like me and you cannot get enough NFL draft content, prospect analysis, prospect rankings, NFL mock drafts every single week, team-specific 7-round mock drafts, we got it all for you on the brand new NFL draft channel from Chat Sports. The link is right down there. It's also in the comments and description of today's video. If you are a draft junkie and you want to know everything there is to know about these prospects that are coming up here in this year's NFL draft, got to click that subscribe button for me right now. All right, then in round 2, now this one's going to be controversial. And personally, I wouldn't make this move. But the Steelers are looking like that they are very, very interested in Kelly Ringo, cornerback out of Georgia. I think that he will be here for the Steelers at number 49 overall. You take a look at what he did last year with the Georgia Bulldogs. He gave up a touchdown, 7 pass breakups, 2 interceptions, and a completion percentage of 53.8. This guy is physical, very, very physical. You take a look at my scouting report for him. He's got great size at the cornerback position and strength for that matter. This guy is just absolutely jacked. At 6'1", 207 pounds. He's a 4.36 speed guy. That's what he ran at the 40 at the combine. Really, really fast player. And then he's also extremely physical. He uses his size extremely well. He does a really good job at squeezing players towards the sideline, imposing his will on opposing wide receivers. And run defense. This guy's a solid tackler. This guy's a big body. This guy has a good nose for the football. You're not going to have a problem with him there. And then the cons are going to be hip fluidity, and it's going to be short area quickness. Like the really great elite route runner types, they are going to give him fits, and they're the guys that gave him fits in college. Plain and simply, this guy doesn't have really great stop-start ability. This guy has great long speed. Once he gets going, this guy is moving fast. But man, like when it comes to those short area moving type motions, stopping, cutting, those sorts of things, that's not his bag. And that's why I'm a little worried about him and that he definitely has some bust potential. However, Mike Tomlin loves this type of corner. Big, physical, fast, can play in press coverage. That is Kelly Ringo's thing. He plays in press a lot. The Steelers like to play a lot of press. So it wouldn't shock me whatsoever. They've had dinner with him. They've met with him at every single step of the way. They seem to be really, really interested in him. Personally, I would move him to strong safety. I think his skill set is more suited to be a safety in the NFL, not an outside cornerback, but seems like the Steelers might be giving him a shot at that cornerback 1 position heading into the future. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Would drafting Kelee Ringo be a smart move for the black and gold? Type Y if you think yes, or type N if you think no. Personally, I would go another direction. I would try to maybe get a corner earlier in the draft, maybe go Julius Brents here. I think Kelee Ringo is just too much of a risk, but let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Then in the 3rd round, I have the Steelers going and getting a big slot receiver to add to Kenny Pickett's weaponry here. Jonathan Mingo, wide receiver, big slot receiver out of Ole Miss. And man, Ole Miss has something in the water, man. Like they just turn out these really jacked, physical type wide receivers. A.J. Brown, DK Metcalf, and Jonathan Mingo is right there with them. 5 touchdowns last year, 16.9 yards per catch on 51 catches, 861 yards total in 13 games played. Really, really like this player, and this guy can impose his will as a run blocker from the slot position. With the Steelers transitioning to more of a power run game, having that really big slot receiver that can just dominate at the slot position, get rid of nickel corners, get rid of strong safeties, just be a bulldozer there at the slot position at 6'2", 225 pounds. That's what Jonathan Mingo brings to the table. Mike Tomlin likes him some big slot receivers, man. You saw that with Juju Smith-Schuster. They tried moving Chase Claypool to the slot, didn't work out great. And right now the starting slot receiver is Calvin Austin III, who's like 5'9", 165 pounds. Like that doesn't fit the mold of what the Steelers want in their starting slot receiver, especially because they're moving to a power run game. I think Jonathan Mingo, who's probably going to go in round 3, in my opinion, is a great fit for what the Steelers want at that position. Then you get into round 4, and somebody that the Steelers have definitely had eyes for since the beginning of this process. Jervin Dexter Sr., defensive tackle, nose tackle out of the University of Florida. This is somebody that has met with the Steelers multiple times, has talked about how great the meetings have gone with the black and gold. And at 6'6", 312 pounds, he has the strength to be an NFL nose tackle, and he has the athleticism to be a really plus pass rusher from the nose tackle position, which you just don't see every day. Jervin Dexter, 4 tackles for loss, 2 sacks, and he even had an interception last year, which is kind of funny. This guy is somebody that's extremely athletic, extremely physical. Is he ready to play in the NFL day one? That is up to be determined. I think that he would maybe be a round 2 pick if his tape was a little bit better. Definitely a bit raw on tape, but if the Steelers draft him here, and I think they might, they're going to be plugging him in right away. He's somebody that has the athletic profile that they look for at the nose tackle position, somebody that's going to be a plus pass rusher from that position in the base 3-4. He's going to be a rotational piece because nose tackles in the National Football League are by nature rotational pieces. But man, Jervin Dexter is a really talented player, and he could be a great addition for the black and gold. So right now, go ahead and click that thumbs up icon to like today's video. It is a free and easy way to help out the channel if you've already subscribed to the channel. I sincerely appreciate the support, guys. Keep supporting the channel. I really appreciate you guys. Like today's video. So now we're going to get into some 7th round picks here. We've gone through the first 4 rounds. Now we're getting into the 7th round. No picks in the 5th or 6th for the Steelers. And with that first pick in the 7th round, I have Cam Jones, inside linebacker from the Indiana Hoosiers, falling a bit here. 6'3", 228 pounds. This guy is seen as a very solid, reliable, dependable type inside linebacker. He's not going to wow you with the athleticism or anything like that, but the Steelers need an inside linebacker that can cover. Cam Jones can do that. He is a really sound tackler as well. Is he going to be the best coverage linebacker in the National Football League? No, but can you trust him on an NFL field? In my opinion, right away, yes. And with Landon Roberts, Cole Holcomb being more like blitzing, aggressive style linebackers, the Steelers just simply can't go this entire draft without taking an inside linebacker. So I got Cam Jones going to the Steelers here in round 7. And then to top it all off, I have the Steelers taking a quarterback here with their last pick. Clayton Tune out of Houston, brought him in for a top 30 visit. And, Clayton Tune, I think he's going to be potentially a decent backup, which is what the Steelers would be drafting him for. He's got good size at 6'2", 220 pounds. He's a plus athlete, can really move. He's not like a Justin Fields or a Lamar Jackson, but man, he can run a little bit. He's got good arm strength, not great arm strength, and he plays with really good base, which allows for some really nice balls and some nice accuracy from Clayton Tune. Some of the cons, though, pocket presence. He leaves pockets early. And that's something that I don't really like. I like guys that can stand and deliver. You give this guy about 2 seconds and he tries to make a play outside the pocket, which, by the way, is another thing that he can do. But the mental processing over the middle of the field just isn't there at this point in his process. And decision-making, I mean, when he's outside the pocket being a playmaker, sometimes he can be a bit too risky with the football. Had 10 interceptions with Houston last year. I think the best scheme fit for him is a West Coast offense. The Steelers do not run a West Coast offense, but I think that if you bring him in, he can compete, try to make the roster, try to maybe get a backup position there behind Mitchell Trubisky, and eventually replace Trubisky as the QB2 in Pittsburgh moving forward. So you take a look at this draft haul that I got here. This is what I think, based on this mock draft, I think would probably end up being the Steelers draft haul. You got Paris Johnson Jr., future left tackle here. Then you got Kelly Ringo to try and attempt to be that number 1 cornerback. He's kind of like a boomer bust prospect to me, to be honest with you. Could be a strong safety in the National Football League if it doesn't work out at corner. You got Jonathan Mingo, big slot receiver, going to be a really great impact player right away. Got Jervin Dexter Sr. to fill out your nose tackle spot. Cam Jones, a reliable coverage linebacker in round 7. And then Clayton Tune, the quarterback from Houston, in round 7 as well. So right now, do me a favor, get in the comment section and grade this mock draft. Again, this is not what I would do. This is what I think the Steelers will end up doing. So get in the comment section right now, A, B, C, D, or F. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. And for me, if this ended up being the draft haul for the Steelers, I'm going to give it a B. All right. I just think that if you trade number 17 and number 32 overall, that limits your options in terms of the guys that you can get and fill all of your needs. Like in this mock draft, I had to kind of sacrifice inside linebacker a little bit because there just wasn't really enough room. Like there wasn't enough room to fill all these needs that the Steelers want to fill. And because of that, I had to settle for a linebacker in the 7th. But that's probably the big reason why, if I were the Steelers, okay, I'm going to be doing a Steelers mock draft where it's me making the picks. I'm not moving up to take a tackle. I'm just not. I'm keeping my picks. I might be trading down so I can get more picks. And I think at the end of the day, if an offensive tackle falls to you at number 17, great, but having to move up and give up valuable draft capital to go get him, I'm just not sure it's worth it. If you absolutely have to, stick with Dan Moore Jr. at left tackle, or maybe go get like a Cam Fleming in free agency. All right, guys, that's going to be it for today's show. So do me a favor, go ahead, get down there and subscribe to the channel, guys. We are the fastest growing Steelers channel here on YouTube. So if you want more Steelers mock drafts, more Steelers draft coverage every single day, go ahead, do me a favor, click that subscribe button right now.